Imagine hearing a rustle in the bushes, turning around and coming face to face with a velociraptor. That's right, folks, we're stepping right into Jurassic Park today. What if, instead of your neighbor's dog, it was a velociraptor playing fetch in the backyard? Or perhaps instead of the usual pigeon, it was a velociraptor perched on the city's power lines. Jurassic Park, the iconic blockbuster, catapulted these prehistoric predators into the limelight, making them household names. But beyond the silver screen, velociraptors were quite different. Smaller than their movie counterparts, they were about the size of a turkey and covered in feathers. They were agile, swift, and armed with a deadly sickle-shaped claw on each foot. But what if these creatures, the size of a turkey but with the cunning of a fox, were not confined to the past? What if they were part of our present? Now, let's dive into the depths of this hypothetical world where we share our daily lives with these prehistoric predators. Our lifestyle would certainly take a drastic turn if velociraptors roamed the streets. Not quite your average pet. These prehistoric hunters would force us to rethink and reassess our daily routines. Consider your morning commute. It's no longer just about beating traffic or catching that early train. Now, we'd have to plan around velociraptor sightings and territories. Schools would need to implement new safety procedures. Parents would need to rethink their children's playtime, ensuring they're safe from any unexpected prehistoric visitors. Our homes, too, would need to adapt. Forget about picket fences or open gardens. We're talking about reinforced walls, secure entrances, and perhaps even lookout towers. Imagine a world where your home security system includes velociraptor detectors in addition to smoke alarms. And what about our cities? Builders and architects would face the unique challenge of creating velociraptor-proof structures. We might see the rise of elevated walkways and enclosed public spaces. Our cities would transform, becoming fortresses against these cunning predators. Now let's talk economy. With every challenge comes an opportunity, and in this case, the potential for new industries to bloom is immense. We'd see a rise in specialized velociraptor-related services. Think velociraptor insurance, velociraptor-proof home renovations, or even velociraptor removal services. Job markets would shift to accommodate these new needs, and education would have to adapt to prepare the workforce for these unexpected careers. Of course, there would be drawbacks. The cost of living would likely increase with additional security measures and the potential threat to agriculture and livestock. But, on the flip side, imagine the boom in tourism as thrill seekers flock to experience life among the velociraptors. As you can see, velociraptors living among us would change our lives in ways we can't even begin to imagine. The world as we know it would be turned upside down, reshaped by the presence of these ancient predators. But, for better or worse, it would certainly be a world unlike any other. If velociraptors were part of our reality, our safety measures would have to evolve drastically. Imagine fire drills and earthquake drills being substituted with velociraptor drills. Yes, you heard it right, velociraptor drills. Schools and workplaces would need to implement these to ensure the safety of individuals. These drills would teach people how to respond in the event of a velociraptor attack, including where to hide, how to escape, and even how to defend oneself if need be. Now let's talk about laws and regulations. Our society's legal framework would have to be adjusted to account for the presence of velociraptors. Laws would likely be put in place to restrict the areas where velociraptors could roam freely, and there might even be laws dictating how humans should behave around these creatures. These laws would be designed to protect both humans and velociraptors, ensuring a balanced coexistence. In addition to this, the threat of velociraptors could lead to a rise in personal safety devices. Companies might start producing specialized velociraptor repellents, much like we have bear sprays today. We could also see a boom in the security industry with new technologies designed to detect and deter velociraptors. Now brace yourself for this next part because it's a bit of a wild ride. Yes, we're going to talk about the potential for militarization of velociraptors. It may sound like something out of a science fiction novel, but consider this. If we were able to somehow train and control velociraptors, they could serve as powerful weapons in warfare. Of course, this idea opens up a whole can of ethical worms, but it's a possibility we can't ignore when contemplating this hypothetical world. Safety measures would become a major part of our lives, as we would constantly need to be on guard against these prehistoric predators. In a world where humans are no longer the apex predator, our day-to-day lives would change in ways we can barely imagine. But remember, this is all hypothetical. So for now, let's appreciate our position at the top of the food chain. We've always been at the top of the food chain, but velociraptors might just change that. Imagine a world where we're no longer the apex predators. Instead, we're potential prey for creatures far smarter and faster. Velociraptors, with their swift speed and sharp intellect, could easily disrupt our secure position at the top. We've always relied on our intelligence to outwit other species, but what happens when we're no longer the smartest in the room, or rather, the smartest in the jungle? The idea of being hunted instead of being the hunter is a psychological shift that could shake the very foundations of our civilization. Our self-perception, our societal structures, even our day-to-day behaviors could be dramatically altered. The thrill of the hunt could be replaced by the fear of being hunted. The hunter becomes the hunted, and our world as we know it could be turned upside down. Being hunted rather than being the hunter would be a stark and terrifying change for humanity. So, what have we learned from our journey into a world where velociraptors exist? We've delved into the potential lifestyle changes that would ensue. Our daily routines would be significantly altered as we adapt to a world shared with these cunning predators. We'd no longer be the apex species, and that alone would reshape our societal structures. We've also explored the safety measures humanity would need to implement. The demand for fortified homes and secure transportation would skyrocket, and our resources might be stretched thin. It's a chilling thought to imagine cities transformed into fortresses and wilderness trips becoming high-risk ventures. Most unsettling, perhaps, is the possibility of a food chain reversal. Humans, traditionally the hunters, could become the hunted. This would drastically challenge our understanding of our place in the world. While it's a fascinating, albeit terrifying concept to explore, perhaps it's best that velociraptors remain confined to the silver screen in our imaginations.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. That's all for Nifty Narrations.